There is an island as paradisiacal as it is inaccessible, considered one of the richest places in the world, where the beauty and warmth of its people seduce thousands of travelers every year, who fall prey to temptations impossible to resist. A lost paradise in the most mysterious region on Earth, which also seems to trap planes, ships, and many other realities that disappear without a trace. In this new video from Uncensored World, we will take you to the heart of the Bermuda Islands, a corner of the world where luxury and mystery coexist under an eternal blue sky. Bermuda, an archipelago with more than 150 islands and more churches per square mile than almost anywhere else on Earth. A paradise full of pink beaches, underground caves, ghost planes and ships, and a population considered among the friendliest and richest in the world. A fascinating enclave in the heart of the enigmatic Bermuda Triangle, surrounded by legends that science has yet to decipher. Islands where private and secret parties hide intimate stories that few dare to mention. A place full of unique curiosities, with houses with shell-shaped roofs that collect rainwater, no natural rivers or lakes, no advertising billboards on the streets, so committed to cleanliness and order that there are no stray dogs or litter, and where taxis outnumber private cars. Discover with us the island that gave its name to Bermuda shorts, the elegant tropical office attire that was born here. Keep your eyes open, because what you are about to see will change the way you understand this paradise. Let's begin. In one of the most remote corners of the Earth, thousands of miles from any other known place, in the heart of the Atlantic Ocean, lie the Bermuda Islands, an archipelago of dazzling beauty and legendary secrets. Each island seems to float on impossibly blue waters, while coral reefs glisten in the sun like guardians of mysteries that have accumulated over the centuries, hiding the remains of ships and planes that have ended up here without a trace. The archipelago consists of more than 150 islands and cays, although only about 20 are permanently inhabited. Among the best known are Hamilton, the capital, with its elegant harbor and vibrant urban life; St. George's, the oldest city, steeped in colonial history; and Somerset, famous for its beaches and luxury resorts that attract visitors from all over the world. Each island has its own character, but they all share an exclusivity, beauty, and mystery that cannot be found anywhere else. The inhabitants of Bermuda are considered among the richest on the planet, with a per capita gross domestic product exceeding $138,000 per year. Bermuda often shares the podium of global wealth with countries such as Switzerland and Luxembourg. This prosperity is no coincidence. It is due to an economy based on international financial services, insurance, and luxury tourism that attracts the elite from around the world with realities that are sure to surprise you. The standard of living here is exceptional. The islands combine prosperity with order, cleanliness, and safety, creating an environment where quality of life is evident in every street and corner of the archipelago. Every detail reflects the importance Bermudians place on aesthetics and caring for the environment. From perfectly aligned gardens to meticulously restored historic buildings, everything is designed to convey harmony and elegance. In Bermuda, this dedication to order extends to surprising aspects of urban life. There are no stray dogs, as every pet is registered and cared for by its owners, ensuring that public spaces remain clean and safe. Advertising billboards are also not allowed on the streets, preventing visual pollution and preserving the natural beauty of the urban landscapes. On these islands, even trash is carefully controlled, as collection systems are efficient and waste is managed in such a way that there are virtually no visible traces of trash on the streets. This level of order and cleanliness is part of the Bermudian lifestyle, a way of maintaining its status as one of the richest and most exclusive territories on the planet. This is surely why the most commonly worn pants on these islands are Bermuda shorts, a symbol that reflects the relaxed, elegant, and orderly life of its inhabitants like no other garment. Bermuda shorts were born in the early 20th century as a more comfortable version of the European formal suit, adapted to the warm climate of this archipelago. Traditionally, they are worn with a long-sleeved shirt and tie or with a blazer, becoming the official attire for offices and formal settings, but adapted to the comfort of island life. Their popularity is not limited to Bermuda. Today they are worn in many countries as summer wear, but it is rarely recognized that their origin is here, on these Atlantic islands. Bermuda shorts reached the rest of the world thanks to the influence of British tourists and residents who visited the archipelago in the mid-20th century. Fascinated by their comfort and elegant style adapted to the warm climate, they took this design with them to Europe and America, where it became popular as a casual version of formal wear. It was not a specific brand that launched it onto the global market, but rather the combination of British colonial fashion and international exposure by visitors that allowed this style to be copied and adopted in other regions. It soon became synonymous with summer, vacations, and warm climates, although in Bermuda it retains its formal and symbolic character, showing how a garment can reflect the identity and organized life of an entire archipelago. An interesting detail is that, although many visitors associate it with casual vacation fashion, in Bermuda shorts remain a requirement in certain work contexts, much like office attire, showing how tradition and elegance are maintained even in an environment where life seems relaxed and almost perfect. It was the British settlers who arrived here centuries ago, in the early 17th century, turning the archipelago into a strategic enclave of the British Empire in the Atlantic. Their arrival marked the beginning of colonialism, introducing political, administrative, and cultural structures that can still be seen today in the organization and formal life of the islands. The original inhabitants of these islands were mostly descendants of British settlers, along with slaves brought from Africa during the colonial period, who worked mainly in construction and agriculture. As a result, more than half of the current population is black, while the other half is of European descent. This ethnic mix has given rise to a vibrant culture, rich in traditions and customs unique to the archipelago. The name Bermuda comes from Juan de Bermudez, the Spanish navigator who sighted these islands in the early 16th century. Today, these islands form a British overseas territory, with a population of around 70,000. The official language is English, spoken in everyday life as well as in administration, business, and education. Religion plays a prominent role in Bermudian life and is also associated with this colonial past. In Bermuda, the majority of the population professes Christianity, and what surprises many visitors is that there are more churches per square mile kilometer than almost anywhere else in the world, reflecting the historical and cultural importance of faith in island life. Some churches date back to the 17th and 18th centuries and are preserved with extreme care, blending harmoniously into an urban landscape where, as you now know, order and cleanliness are a priority. In addition to the churches, the buildings that most attract the attention of anyone visiting this paradise on Earth are its houses, and even more so their shapes and architectural significance, which, as you will see, are not only for aesthetic reasons. One of the most characteristic features of these houses are the shell-shaped roofs, ingeniously designed to collect rainwater and channel it into underground reservoirs, a vital solution in this archipelago, as there are no natural rivers or lakes here. The absence of rivers and lakes is due to the geography and composition of these islands, as they are mainly made up of porous limestone, so rain quickly filters into the subsoil, making it impossible for permanent streams or lakes to form. Therefore, each home needs to find its own way of storing water, giving rise to this ingenious and aesthetic system in Bermuda's houses. This system not only ensures the water supply for each home, but also adds a unique character to the urban skyline, making the streets of Bermuda look like a mosaic of curved roofs rising above the ocean. Each white roof is carefully designed to reflect sunlight to keep the interior cool while collecting rainwater. In this way, necessity has become not only beauty, but also inspiration and tradition in this Atlantic paradise. The colors of the houses are another curiosity that does not go unnoticed. Vibrant pastel shades, pinks, turquoises, yellows, and greens alternate on each street, creating a visual landscape that looks like a painting. This explosion of color not only beautifies the environment, but also reflects the local tradition of maintaining harmony and joy in everyday life, while contrasting with the deep blue of the ocean and the green of the carefully tended gardens surrounding them. These buildings, unique in the world, make walking around Bermuda a magical experience in itself, as each house tells a story of tradition, creativity, and adaptation, a reality where color, form, and functionality have come together to create an urban landscape as extraordinary as the archipelago itself. Another reality that surprises any visitor is that in Bermuda, there are almost no private cars on the streets. Traffic is strictly regulated. Only residents can own a car, and even they must comply with strict rules regarding registration and the number of vehicles per household. As a result, taxis outnumber private cars, becoming the most visible means of transportation for those traveling around the islands. To get around, residents who do not own a car can rent motorcycles or bicycles, options that allow them to move easily along the narrow roads and bridges that connect the islands. In addition, Bermuda has a very attractive and efficient bus service, with routes covering virtually the entire archipelago. One of its most striking buses is a bright fuchsia pink, an unforgettable image that adds a touch of color and character to public transport. This combination of regulated transportation, abundant taxis, motorcycle and bicycle rentals, and colorful buses reflects the Bermudian philosophy, a balance between comfort, order, and aesthetics, keeping the archipelago safe, clean, and free from the chaos caused by excess vehicles. For visitors, getting around Bermuda is as much a part of the experience as contemplating its pink beaches and coral reefs. For all these reasons, Bermuda is not limited to its efficient transportation system and urban neatness. One of the biggest attractions that captivates visitors to the archipelago lies just below the surface of its waters, in a marine ecosystem that is, by all accounts, a natural treasure. The waters that surround Bermuda are among the clearest in the world, with visibility often exceeding 30 meters, creating an unparalleled natural aquarium. This clarity is due in part to the archipelago's distance from large continental masses and to the work and condition of its coral reefs. These reefs, which hold the title of being the northernmost on the planet, not only form an impressive natural barrier protecting the islands, but are also the direct source of Bermuda's most famous phenomenon, its incredible pink beaches. This fascinating detail is due to a unique biological process. A significant part and the key to Bermuda's famous soft pink sand comes precisely from its coral reefs and the marine life that inhabits them. The mechanism is amazing. The protagonist is the parrotfish, which feeds by scraping the coral to access the small algae that live inside. In doing so, it ingests fragments of the coral skeleton, which it then crushes in its digestive system. The result is that the crushed coral skeleton is excreted as fine white sand. This white sand acquires its distinctive and coveted pink hue when mixed with billions of microscopic fragments of red shells from foraminifera, tiny marine organisms that live in the reef and whose shells are deposited on the shore, coloring the beaches with this unique color. For all these reasons, Bermuda is full of these pink beaches, a direct result of the interaction between parrotfish, coral, and this tiny red organism, making these coasts an incomparable natural spectacle. If you enjoyed learning about why Bermuda has pink beaches and houses with shells on their roofs, remember to like and subscribe to Uncensored World so you don't miss stories like this every week. Thank you. The marine life that thrives around these corals is astonishingly rich and varied, making it a paradise for diving and snorkeling. Thousands of species of vibrantly colored tropical fish, sea turtles, and countless invertebrates make diving an almost mystical experience, with this underwater spectacle being one of the main attractions that draws tourists from around the world each year. But Bermuda offers much more than natural wonders. The soul of the archipelago lies in its people. The hospitality and friendliness of Bermudians are legendary, manifested in a warm welcome and genuine smile that makes visitors feel instantly at home. It is a deep-rooted sense of community that values order, respect, and the joy of living in this little paradise. For many tourists, the connection with the place goes beyond mere contemplation. The remoteness of these islands, coupled with the warmth of their inhabitants, has given rise to a romantic and very real local legend that the beauty of Bermudian women exerts a special attraction on foreign visitors. The distance from the mainland and the intimate and safe atmosphere of this exclusive archipelago foster encounters and relationships that often go beyond the holiday. Many tourists, captivated by these beautiful women and the intrinsic seduction of the place, decide to drop anchor permanently, becoming trapped in a good way and forming new families on the pink sands of the Bermuda Islands. This sweet reality of being caught up in love and beauty coexists with another, much more enigmatic and feared by many. Bermuda's very location in the North Atlantic and close to the infamous Bermuda Triangle adds a layer of mystery. This reality, that of being trapped here or even disappearing into the fog of its legends, is another of the reasons that make this archipelago unique, with mysterious disappearances, legends, and motives that we will soon learn about. But before we delve into the deep mysteries surrounding this point on the map, it is crucial to address another palpable reality present on these islands: ultra-luxury tourism and the exclusive world of top-secret private parties. Bermuda, being an offshore financial center and an elite destination, as you know, one of the richest places on the planet, also attracts a clientele with extraordinary purchasing power. This reality manifests itself in the existence of private parties on secret islands or inaccessible villas, where the rich and powerful seek refuge from public view to give free rein to their often dark fantasies. These top-secret gatherings hold stories that are hard to believe, marked by excess and absolute secrecy. Rumor has it, for example, that a famous tech mogul rents one of the small satellite islands located in the Great Harbor, such as Oswego Island, or one of the other tiny rock formations near St. George, every year. This is his top-secret refuge where discretion is total, and there is only one rule: lavish parties that exceed the imaginable. These intimate celebrations can last an entire weekend, with brutal extravagance where only a select few are allowed to attend. The most striking thing is the dynamic of these gatherings. More than just parties, they are said to be like a modern harem, where money and female beauty mix without limits. Young models and stunning women brought in from faraway countries were recruited and invited with astronomical payments, rumored to be six figures, just for the weekend, to ensure that beauty and intimate relationships were the centerpiece of the event. The atmosphere was one of such controversial excess that it is hard to believe. To maintain absolute secrecy, the island was only accessible by private helicopter or super luxury yacht, anchoring at a private dock far from any prying eyes. This created a perfect bubble of hedonism and glamour, isolating guests from the outside world. In this parallel paradise, the experiences were as wild and explosive as the enormous fortunes paid for them. But Bermuda is much more than wealth and exclusivity. It is a unique natural paradise, with crystal-clear waters, a temperate climate all year round, and amazing marine life, located in the heart of the Bermuda Triangle, the most enigmatic region in the Atlantic, and probably in the entire world. The name Bermuda Triangle describes a vast area of the Atlantic Ocean that has earned a reputation as a marine and aerial graveyard. It is so named because its outline on a map roughly forms a giant triangular shape. This area covers about 1.5 million square kilometers in the western Atlantic. Its vertices are generally defined by three key points: Bermuda in the north, Puerto Rico in the south, and Miami or some point on the Florida coast in the west. It is a heavily traveled sea and air route, which historically has also increased the likelihood of such incidents. The legend surrounding this triangle is fueled by a series of unexplained realities. For centuries, sailors and pilots have reported strange malfunctions in navigation instruments, compasses spinning out of control, and mysterious fogs appearing out of nowhere. It is estimated that around 50 ships and more than 20 aircraft have disappeared in this region without a trace or distress signal. Most strikingly, many of these incidents have occurred in normal weather conditions, leaving investigators with no clear cause or wreckage to analyze. Among this collection of enigmas, one of the most famous cases that occurred exactly in these islands was that of the aircraft Star Tiger. This commercial flight of the British South American Airways disappeared near Bermuda in the cold month of 1948. On board were 25 passengers and 6 crew members, covering the route from the Azores to Bermuda. The Star Tiger was a Tudor aircraft considered modern and safe. The last message received from it indicated that all was well, with the pilot requesting a position check just 2 hours before landing in Bermuda. After that, there was complete silence. Despite intensive searches, no wreckage from the plane was ever found, not even an oil slick or a life jacket. It seems as if that plane had disappeared as if by magic. The only official conclusion was that the fate of the Star Tiger will remain an unsolved mystery, fueling the idea that an invisible force had acted in the vicinity of the Bermuda Islands. You're probably wondering, what makes this region so enigmatic and dangerous? Is it really like that? To answer this, both science and speculation have proposed a variety of theories, some based on geology and others more on the paranormal. One of the most widely accepted theories in science has to do with underwater geology. This area is known to be rich in deposits of methane hydrates. These are gases that are frozen under the seabed. If an eruption or seismic movement releases these pockets of gas, the methane bubbles to the surface. When this happens, the water becomes much less dense, almost like a fizzy drink. A ship sailing on this foam would instantly lose buoyancy and sink in seconds, with no time to send a distress call. For aircraft, the massive release of this gas into the atmosphere could cause catastrophic engine failure when flying in the area, and most flights that have disappeared here were flying at an altitude where this released gas still posed a direct danger to aircraft combustion. Another explanation focuses on the intense magnetic activity in this region of the planet. It is speculated that the region contains geomagnetic anomalies that could explain the erratic failures of compasses and navigation instruments. Although many experts dismiss this, it is a factor that contributes to the confusion often reported in this part of the world. In addition to this, the environmental conditions of the ocean and atmosphere in the region are extremely volatile. The Gulf Stream passes directly through there, creating rapid and unpredictable weather changes. Suddenly, violent storms or giant waves known as rogue waves or monster waves can appear, capable of engulfing large ships, leaving the legend of the Bermuda Triangle as a fascinating mixture of reality, geology, and legend. The depths of the ocean in this area are abysmal, making it extremely difficult to locate any type of wreckage or evidence if it were to disappear here, perpetuating the mystery and ensuring that the stories of ships and planes disappearing in Bermuda remain one of the greatest legends on the planet. At this point, we would like to ask you, what do you think about these disappearances? Do you think they are due to terrestrial magnetism, methane hydrates, or rather paranormal phenomena that science still cannot explain? Do you know of any similar places? Pause the video and leave us your comment. Doing so is the best way you can support us so that we can continue working hard every week to bring you the best content, so thank you for being here. Be that as it may, many residents of the islands and sailors who navigate these waters claim to have seen ghost ships, drifting vessels, without crew and in perfect condition. These are hulls that appear to have been abandoned in a hurry, with coffee still hot, or food served on the table, as if the crew had vanished in an instant. One famous case of a ghost ship directly linked to the area is that of the pleasure yacht Connemara 4. This elegant vessel was found adrift in the Atlantic, just south of the Bermuda Islands. The yacht was discovered by a freighter in late September 1955. The ship had become an empty shell floating aimlessly, with no one on board. This phenomenon of perfectly seaworthy but empty ships is a constant in the legends surrounding Bermuda, leaving the feeling that something or someone can take away a crew without leaving a trace of violence or struggle. If you've made it this far, it's because the aura of mystery and irresistible charm of Bermuda has captivated you. You're probably interested in knowing how to get there, and more importantly, how to make the most of this unique paradise. That's why we at Uncensored World have done extensive research to bring you the best information and help you with this. Getting to Bermuda is surprisingly easy via its main airport, Wade International Airport. From North America, flights are quick, taking just over 2 hours from hubs such as New York. From Europe, there are direct options from London with a flight time of approximately 7 hours. For most travelers, including citizens of the European Union, the United States, and the United Kingdom, a traditional visa is not required, only a valid passport. One of the curiosities of Bermuda is that, as you can see in this video, visitors are not allowed to rent cars. Therefore, the best way to get around is to rent a scooter or motorcycle, which costs about $60 per day, or to use the public buses and ferries, which are very efficient and offer unparalleled views. It is crucial to know that Bermuda is undoubtedly one of the most exclusive and expensive destinations on the planet. Its prices reflect its quality and remoteness. For example, dinner for two at a mid to high-end restaurant can range from $100 to $200. When it comes to accommodation, exclusivity also comes at a price. A standard mid-range room starts at $350 per night, while a luxury resort or suite with an ocean view can range from $800 to $3,000 per night. Your trip should focus on the unparalleled natural beauty, so don't miss the pink beaches, especially Horseshoe Bay Beach, whose sand gets its unique color from coral crushed by beautiful parrotfish. To experience adventure on these islands, it's best to try diving. This island has more shipwrecks per capita than anywhere else in the world, so discovering its depths is also something unique on Earth. A guided dive to see this type of historical wreck costs around $150, and if you're looking for a truly unique experience, exploring the crystal caves with their underground lakes or booking a deep-sea fishing excursion can help you experience exclusivity and unparalleled adventure. At Uncensored World, we hope this video has helped you discover and enjoy the Bermuda Islands, one of the most fascinating and mysterious gems on the planet. If so, don't hesitate to leave us a like and a comment. It's the best way you can help us continue working to bring you interesting content like this every week. Videos like this one, which you can watch below, allow you to enjoy the beauty and curiosities of another of the most fascinating places on the planet. Click on it, you're going to enjoy it.